Okay, while we are waiting for people to hop on here, we're going to give you a little preview of our Club Q. Hi everybody. So I know we're still waiting for a few people to hop on here for the next class, but while we're waiting, I'm going to give you a little preview of our December Club Q, because this is using the same paper line that we're using today. And so if you have lots of holiday photos, Club Q is kind of the way to go this month, because all of the Club Q layouts coordinate with today's classes. So I'm going to give you a quick preview here while we're waiting for people to hop on for the class. And if you are a Club Q member, put it in the comments. We would love to hear what you like about Club Q. This month we have Christmassy holiday kits. And with our monthly kit club, you always get 2 double-page layouts with instructions. Everything is in there for you. You also get free shipping. You also get a paper pack with some quotes and journaling sheets and embellishments, and it's always different every month, but you get an extra paper pack that's usually an extra $8 to $10 value. So if you are a Club Q member, let us know what you love about it. Put it in the comments. But this month, all of our kits will coordinate with what we are doing today. These would be the 4 kits that you get in December if you were to sign up this weekend. And if you do sign up, you also get free kits. So we will give you free summer kits when you sign up, plus an extra little paper pack as well. So it's $32 each month. Always free shipping. You get free kits in your first shipment, and the great thing about it is you can preview it each month and opt out. You can skip months if you want. The only commitment for Club Q is 4 paid months before you cancel completely, but you can skip within there. You can opt out if you want to, but it's just a really easy way to get our fun kits every month. And we try to keep it really general, kind of seasonal stuff, family stuff, so that they work for everybody. But it's an easy way to get our new stuff every month shipped to your door.
Someone mentioned they love the discounts that Club Q member gets.
I didn't even mention that. Yes. So if you are a Club Q member, you get 10% off of any other order. And one great thing about that is that when you order, your order gets flagged as Club Q member, and it comes in your free shipment box. So you never have to pay shipping on your extra stuff. So we are going to get set up and get started on this next class. If you do want to sign up for Club Q, go to shopquickquotes.com, click on Club Q, and you can sign up and you get all the free stuff in your first shipment. And yeah, if you have any questions about that, let us know. But we are going to get set up and get started on our next kit that is called Bells. Just give us a second here to get set up. Oops, tearing stuff up over here. Okay, let's see. I absolutely love this new paper line. My friend Joy designs our paper, and she has for years. This is actually something that just got put on the website also this last week, and it is the Sleigh Ride paper pack. So you get 2 sheets of every single paper in this line. It's called Sleigh Ride. And you get some extras of it if you are a Club Q member in your paper pack for Club Q. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started with bells. And I'm going to move these out of the way. And I typically get all the cutting out of the way first. So I'm going to get out my trimmer. And the first thing that we are going to do is cut off the tabs of each 12 by 12 paper. So there's 2 background sheets. The other 12 by 12 that we need to trim down, this one we are going to use to cut up into pieces from a diagram. It's a really simple diagram, but we're going to trim the tabs off first. Whoops. And then if you can locate your diagram, we are going to start with this 12 by 12 sheet of paper, and it's a really simple diagram. But if you need me to slow down or have any questions, just let me know. So what I do with my diagram is I actually lay it right next to me so I can see what I'm doing here. The first cut that we're going to make is actually this 6-inch cut right here. And this, it doesn't matter which way this is going, because we're only using the dot side, so we're going to put it into 6 inches. Oh my gosh, it's raining so hard right now, and we have a tin roof on the warehouse, so I'm trying to talk loud enough so you can still hear me. It's loud in here. Okay, so cut at 6. We're going to turn that piece, and we're going to cut these 3 at 3 3/4. So put it in at 3 3/4. 3 3/4. And 3 3/4. Then you have a little piece left over at the end that you can use for whatever. I know that we usually say with Quick Quotes Kits, we use almost everything. So we always tell everybody, don't throw anything away, because we use a lot of the negative pieces from laser cuts and stuff. So I will let you know when you can throw a piece away, and this one you can. So the 3 3/4 by 6, and we're going to lay those to the side. Your other 6-inch piece, these get cut at 3 1/2. So we need 3 3 1/2. And when I tested out this kit yesterday, I actually cut these. I got in a hurry and I cut these at the wrong size. And if for some reason you do, it still works out. You just put a little bit of a smaller picture on there, but it still works out for this kit for sure. 3 1/2. This piece is also not used, so you can save that for cards or little scraps, but you don't have to. Okay, so these are 3 1/2. The other ones are 3 3/4. The next diagram that we are going to do is the 6 by 12 ornament sheet of paper. You have 2 different ones. Just make sure you have the 6 by 12. And we are going to cut that one down. So to start, we cut 2 inches off. And then we're going to move it in to 1 inch. And trim. 1 inch. And trim. And then you have a 2-inch piece left over. And the reason we take these 2 1 inch out of the middle instead of just cutting them off the end is because one of these we actually use the other side. You can see this one we actually use this side of the paper. So we had to have it cut out of a certain spot on the piece. So you have a 2 inch, a 1 inch, 1 inch, a 2 inch. And then you can set those aside also. And since my trimmer's out, we're going to go ahead and cut our vellum piece also. And you can kind of look here at your diagram and see where you want to cut it. You want to trim it just above where it says the magic of Christmas. So let's put this in. So right in between these 2 little paragraphs. And then this is just extra. You can use it for a card or something too. That's extra. And then I'm going to move it down and I'm going to trim right at the bottom of the brown like that. And then we are going to use these little pieces here. And this one, I'm not even sure why that's in the middle there, but I'm just going to cut straight through that middle. I'm going to trim this end off right at the end of the flourish, right at the bottom of the flourish. So you can see just right at the bottom there. And right at the bottom of the other side. So you have a piece that looks like this. And then I'm going to put it right in the middle and we're going to cut right down the middle of that flourish. And actually, you know, I'm going to start my blade down here because if you push up, then your paper doesn't move when you're cutting these small things like that. Okay, so set those aside. And I think there's one more cut. And you have an ornament paper like this. It's 3 3/4 by 12, and we're going to cut them all into 3 3/4 square. So just put this in at 3 3/4, 3 3/4, and 3 3/4. And this is extra. We don't use that. So 3 3/4. And really the only other thing that needs cutting, and you can use your trimmer if you want to, but we're going to, or you can just fussy cut around it. We're going to trim out this little banner here. Get it right to the edge. And then again, I'm going to start at this end so that when you push up, it keeps your little banner in place there. Then I'm just going to trim out. And if there is a little white edge, you didn't get quite close enough to the green, don't even worry about it. You can chalk up the edges and you'll never even notice. So see, I have a little, you can either trim it off further if you want, or you can chalk up the edges. Okay, so I think we are done with our trimmer. Sometimes I say that and then we have to grab it back out again, but I think we're good. Get that out of the way and move in our background papers. I like to set up my background papers and have them both laying out in case there is something that I can work on both pages at the same time. If you don't have enough space, you can just do one. We'll try to do all of page 1 and then all of page 2. Okay, so for page 1, you may have all of your die cuts punched out. I did not punch all of mine out. We are going to start with the bell. This kit is very easy. The hardest part is getting this layered correctly. That's why I love this kit. It's a beautiful kit, but it's really pretty simple to put together. So I'm going to go ahead and punch out all of these little lasers and bows. You can just put those in a pile. And then we are going to work on getting the bell layered. So as I'm punching these out, I don't know if I even said my name. I'm Stacy. And I know a lot of you from different events and stuff, and from Club Q. I design Club Q, and then I do the Club Q videos each month, which I didn't even mention comes with your Club Q. I do a video every month so that you have step-by-step instructions to put them together. So I'm going to go ahead and punch all of these out. I am Patsy's daughter. I know that most of you know Patsy from over the years, And if you don't know our company at all, we are totally a family business. Started about 23 years ago. My older sister Breezy and Patsy started it, and then my husband and I came on about 16 or 17 years ago. So, total family business. And Patsy skipped out on us today. She stopped in to say hi and do a class, and then she is going to a Christmas play. Actually, she's going to Mary Poppins today, so she's excited. Ooh, I see here a train. Train prize. So when I pop out, sometimes I leave these in just to grab what I need as I go, but when I pop these out, I put them in just a pile by color so I know what I'm looking for. Okay, we have Luann Anderson. Congratulations, you won a train prize. We have all your info, so we will just get a prize out to you on Monday. Okay, I think I got everything. All right, what we are going to start with here is the first thing on your bell. You grab the white. I just want to make sure that I'm layering this right. Yes, okay. So first, and I'm going to layer these first so that you can see what it looks like before we go back through and use any glue. So first is the yellow piece that looks like this. It's kind of a florally yellow tannish color. I'm a big fan of kind of laying things where you want them first before we actually glue them down. Oh, and this is why, because I just did this, wrong. So actually, your red piece goes first. Let me make sure that I'm layering this right here. Okay, your red piece goes first. So this is going to go on. And then your yellow. Okay. And then your large green piece. Oh, this is what I'm missing. That's because I didn't punch them out. Your little pine cones here. Okay, so this little pine cone goes under this one. And this one goes under here. Okay, so now that we have this layered correctly, I am going to pick this up, and this is where the Barely Art glue comes in really handy because it has a really small precision tip on there. And Patsy may have said this earlier, but it is our new favorite. We actually have it on our website now because we love it so much. But what I'm going to do is we are putting the red piece on first. So what I'm going to do is just put a few dots of this. It doesn't have to be completely covered to glue the entire thing down. I'm just going to flip this over, and right here at the bow, I'm going to put a little bit of glue, maybe a few dots here. And right at the top of the bell. And that is enough to hold that on. So I'm going to pick up the red. Line that up. And that glue is pretty tacky. It also dries clear, which I love. And then if you want to, you can see where this will glue on a little more. Maybe put another little dot by the berries. But really you need very little. And then once you get it into your page protector, this is all going to stay flat. So you don't have to have every little piece of it glued down, okay? The next is the yellow, and that's going to go right behind here. So what I'm going to do is flip this back over, and I'm just going to put a few dots here and there.
Teresa's asking if she can purchase the die cut by itself that she messed up. She left up the brown pine cones.
Oh, you know what? Nobody will even notice. Nobody but you will ever notice that your pine cones aren't there. But if you can't peel it up, maybe if you do want another die cut, just send us an email. So somebody was saying that she messed it up and didn't put the pine cones in. If you can lift it up and even chalk it brown or something, that's awesome. If you do want another die cut, maybe send us an email at customer service at shopquickquotes.com, and we'll see if we can get just the die cut for you, or the piece that you need. Okay, so once you get that yellow on, we're going to do the pine cones next. So again, I'm just going to do a couple little dots here and there. And I'm going to line this one up. This one's a little trickier. And a couple little dots up here. And if some of the brown is showing or not showing and you forgot it, it's still going to look beautiful. It all kind of blends together with that green anyway. It's not a huge difference from the green. They're both really dark colors. Okay, once you have that, then I'm going to put a few dots here and there and get this glued down to your green piece. See, that was pretty simple once we got started. It just looks like it has lots of layers. Okay, so I'm just going to actually lay this up at the top of my first page, just kind of as a placeholder. I'm not going to glue it down yet. The next piece we're going to do is your vellum quote here on the side. And so that you don't see the glue, I know some people have not worked with vellum before. If you put glue on the back of vellum, it shows through. Like, it leaves kind of a mess and you can't read your quote and it looks just kind of messy. So what we did is we actually wrap these around. So there's one of these for the top and bottom, like this. But what I'm going to do first is, there's this single little red piece of paper in your kit. I'm going to flip that over, and I am going to take my double-sided tape and run it really close to the edge all the way down the side. So adhesive, adhesive. And this works best with double-sided tape. You can use liquid glue if you want. It's just a little bit easier with double-sided tape. Okay, so also, you know what I didn't mention is chalking things up, and chalk actually looks really beautiful on vellum. So I am going to grab, let's see what this is, peppermint stick. This will add a little bit of red, and I'm just going to, you don't have to do the edges because those will be wrapped and you can't see them. I'm just going to add a little color to this. It would look really nice with a brown, like maybe Mocha Mama, any other red like Barnboard, Bloody Mary. Any of the browns would look beautiful too. Once you do have that chalked up, we're putting one of these at the top, one at the bottom, so you just kind of center it and flush with the bottom. And then we fold the edge around tight to the adhesive on the back. So same with this side. This one goes on top, flush with the top. Oh my gosh, it's so windy outside. Windy and rainy. That gets folded around. And then this gets centered. And that gets folded around to the back and sticks to that adhesive that you put on. And that's a super simple way to just hide the adhesive with any kind of vellum. But you don't want to put adhesive all over vellum. Okay, and I'm going to hold this there as a placeholder. Put that up there as a placeholder. We have one bow that goes right at the top of that. I'm just kind of putting these here so that we know where things are going. Okay, so we are going to take a 2-inch strip and a 1-inch strip. So with the 2-inch strips though, there are 2 of them and they look like this. The one that goes on page 1 is the one that has mostly white in the center. This one actually goes right here on page 2. So you can lay that on your page 2. This one, we are putting an inch up from the bottom here. And I'm going to chalk this up. I think I'm going to give mine a little more antique look. And I'm going to use Mocha Mama. So you go ahead and choose what works best for you. If you have a color that you think that would look great with this, put it in the comments too so that others can give it a try. I'm going to give it a little more antique look, and I'm using Mocha Mama, so it's kind of a darker brown. And actually with long strips like this, I like to just run it down the side. I kind of say the messier the better with this kind of stuff. I love the chalk look. And then I go over just a little bit again, make it darker where I want to. I do a little more on the corners, but I really like that kind of dark antique look. So chalk it up any color you want, and then we are going to adhere this 1 inch from the bottom. So if you want to measure up 1 inch. And I'm going to make a little mark where 1 inch is, and then I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. Okay, and then your 1 inch piece, this actually goes, let me see what the exact measurement is. 7 inches up from the bottom. And the reason that this is important is because the photo mats fit right in here. But you know, if you get it off just a little bit, no worries. What did I say? 7 inches, right? So 7 inches up, and I'm going to make a little mark. Go ahead and chalk that up. If you really want to make your page quite a bit brighter, I would use maybe peppermint stick. What is the other? Red Hot, Rouge. Those are all kind of really bright reds. Totally up to you and the look that you want. And actually, greens would look nice. Emerald Forest would be really pretty, a dark green. I'm super excited about our new powder puffs that are coming out soon. We will have a pre-order in just a couple weeks here, I think. So then go ahead and glue this one down at 7 inches up from the bottom. And actually, in a little bit here, I will give you a preview of what is coming in for the new powder puffs. It's called the Gemstone Collection. So lots of beautiful colors in there. Okay, and then see here. So the photo mats that go in on this page are the larger ones. So we had 3 at 3.5 and 3 at 3 3/4. We want the larger ones that are 3 3/4, and they are going to get centered in between those 2 strips that you just laid down. And I'm going to chalk these up a little bit too. And if you want to do an antique color but not quite as dark as Mocha Mama, you could use Amaretto. Amaretto is one of our most popular ones that we've had for I don't even know how many years. That was part of our happy hour collection. That was a fun one. It was our first one, and it was really late at night, and we had to get the order in, and we had to name them all, and we came up with the happy hour collection in the middle of the night. So lots of drinks.
It's count 2. It's one of the first inks.
Yeah, Amaretto is one of the very first ones. Amaretto, Bloody Mary, and Mocha Mama have been around for many years. I always like to hear what people's favorite Powder Puff Chalking color is, because it kind of, you tend to use one color a lot, and sometimes it's a color that I wouldn't even think goes with the paper, and once it gets on there, it's gorgeous. So if you're using something unique, let us know what it is. These lined up. It's about maybe 1/4 inch from the edge of the paper, or you can spread them out a little bit if you want to. Actually, you know what I do? I do this one 1/4 inch. And then center that one. I didn't quite push this one all the way down yet so that I could get it even. And those you can go ahead and glue down. When you are putting on, we're putting on bows at the top and the holly at the bottom. Oops, I dropped a bow. But just remember, you want to be able to put your photos on here. So if you are putting your photos on, awesome, you can put these right on over top. If you're not, then you want to put these on later. Sometimes we have some super overachievers and they get the pictures in there, which is amazing. At our private reserve events, we go with classes, and I'm always amazed that there's 1 or 2 people at the end of the events that have it full of pictures. It's hard to do when you're working. Okay, so at the bottom, same thing. Remember that you're putting pictures in here, so if you want to glue these down, just make sure and do just the ends so that you can lift this up and slide a picture in there later. These get glued here. And then what I do is I just kind of put a blob of glue right here, and where's my buttons? You should have a little packet of buttons, and 3 buttons go on there. And this one you kind of have to tilt a little bit to kind of fit it all on there. Your bow can go right over top of that. I'm going to glue this one down. I just kind of like to wait till the end to get things glued down, just in case I have messed up. I'm going to put this really close to that strip of paper so I have room for the bow at the top. Use a little bit of Barely Art glue. So the top of your quote. And once you get your buttons on here, page 1 is done. See how simple that was? Okay, page 2. How's everybody doing? Is it everybody done with page 1? Page 2, we are going to start with the strip that we laid out here. It's ornaments on the back and some books and things on the side here, and we're going to put 1/4 of an inch from the left side of the page. Go ahead and chalk it up. I'm surprised there hasn't been more trains this class. Sometimes on Saturdays it's train after train, and then other times it's silent. Okay. In your kit you had, I think it's a 4x12 red. That is going to go right next to this. You can chalk it up if you want, but most of this won't show. It's just kind of a little color in the middle there. So we're going to put that flush to that strip there. Your last 1-inch strip is going to go next to that. If anybody needs me to slow down or anything, just let me know. John's trying to watch the comments as they come in, so.
Janet says she's way behind. Good.
Okay, Janet, no problem. I'm gonna just slow down here for a minute.
She did put LOL, so I wasn't sure if that was.
Okay, Janet, if there is anything I can do to help you, you tell me, okay? Or I'll just give you a little time. And one thing too, it's totally up to you. A lot of these little embellishment things, you can just sit off to the side and do that later when you actually get pictures in. So some of the little things, you also have in between each class, there's about a half an hour that you have time to work too. So if you get the basics down, you can add the little things later as well.
She says she's a slow scrapper.
That's okay. It takes all types, Janet. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. I can glance over at comments every once in a while. Cheryl loves Club Q. Thank you.
Getting got a nice Club Q comments. It's beautiful.
Appreciate that. Okay.
I'll add a link towards the end.
Oh, okay.
For Club
Actually,
Q.
yeah, if you want to just put it in there, yeah, you can. So at the end, John will add a link towards the end, and here in a couple minutes, he'll add a link to the Club Q page so you guys can check it out if you want to. And I hope you love it as much as Cheryl does. Okay, so just giving a little time there. The next little piece that we are going to put together is your May Your Days Be Merry. It just goes right on top of your white little banner. And if you don't want that white, you just chalk up the edge. And actually, I think I will use, oh, it doesn't look like Mom has a emerald forest over here. Maybe I'll use a little weeping willow. And then if I don't like it, I'll go over it with brown. Okay, so I'm actually gonna put this on first. And use a little weeping willow. This one's kind of an avocado-y, a little bit brighter.
Carly says she used Emerald Forest.
Ooh, yeah, I love emerald forest. I just don't happen to have one over here, but that's one of my favorite greens. It's really dark. I love it. That weeping willow looks pretty. I wouldn't have thought, because it's a little bit bright. But if you did weeping willow and you don't like it, you can always go over it with a little brown, and then it'll match what I've already done here. And if you ever mix the colors, you just want to use your lighter color first so that you're not messing up your pad with a different color. And then we are going to just sit this down here because the next thing we are going to get on are your photo backers. And I would just lay these out a little bit so that you know where you want them. And it's just so you know, it's a little off-centered here, so, and it's supposed to be that way. So about a 1/2 inch from the side of your 1-inch ornament strip here. I'm gonna go ahead and chalk the edges of these up. I just like the look of this chalk because it gives just a little extra dimension to your project, and it's just an easy way to add one more color to your project. Let's go ahead and chalk those up. And get those on your page. Go ahead and hear those down. Okay. Okay, and when you put this on, I got these a little crooked. Went too fast there. Gotta fix it now or it'll bug me forever. Okay. When you put this on, remember that a picture is going to go down in here, so just maybe the bottom with adhesive. And you have a bow that will go right at the end here. So since we are doing Christmas pages, one thing I love to ask people is some of your favorite Christmas traditions. What are some of your favorite Christmas traditions that you do at your house? Ours, I have 3 boys, and so it gets fairly rowdy around the holidays when everybody is around. One of my favorite traditions, though, is we play a game of spoons. If you have never played spoons, you should look that up because it is a fun family game. But just know that we just kind of count on about 1 injury per game of spoons. It gets a little out of control at our house. But that's one of our favorite things is everybody gets together. There's about 15 of us around the big kitchen table, and we play a game of spoons. It's a card game, and you have to fight for the spoons. But typically somebody ends up with some sort of injury, and we just plan on that. Even Grandma Patsy gets in on it.
Mariah paints ornaments every year with her daughter.
Oh, fun. That reminds me, I try to do, I have 3 boys, 11, well actually I have 2 December birthdays, so right now I have a 12-year-old, a 10-year-old, and an 8-year-old who will be 9 next week. But I took them all on different date nights this last week, and my 10-year-old I took to a paint night, and he had so much fun. Mom went with us. Patsy went and painted also, but he absolutely loved it. I wasn't sure how it was going to go over, and he's all ready to do the next one. He painted a Christmas truck, and he did really amazing. I was super excited. The other ones, I went bowling, and then we went to Grinchmas. Christmas. Yeah. And it was bingo, and that was really fun. Okay, when we get to these holly pieces, Remember again that you have pictures that are going in here. So don't glue down if you don't want to glue where your picture is going to go. Oops, that's the wrong side. I kind of like that side though. There's a print on it. You can use either side of this. And really, we are really close to done. If anybody has any questions, and I'd still love to hear your Christmas traditions, because maybe we'll pick that one up too. Like, we should probably have more than just hurting each other in a game of spoons.
Doris said, I wrap each gift like 10 times and disguise it in different boxes. We take turns unwrapping, and you can only unwrap one layer each round.
That's hilarious. I might give that a try. That's so fun. So this year, all the adults are doing just a white elephant gift exchange at our house. And I saw somewhere online that a family did a wig exchange and it took a family photo. And I think that is hilarious. I think we should do that next year. Okay, if anybody has any questions, let us know on this kit. While you're finishing up, I'm going to show Club Q one more time, just in case you're interested.
Sheila's asking, paper we're using is to match one of the colors of my daughter's wedding. Is there a way I could order 20 sheets the front winter parade?
Yes, I believe so. So just send, if you want to order a bunch of single sheets, I think that we have enough to be able to do that. So just send us an email at customerservice@shopquickquotes.com and we should be able to get you a bunch of those sheets, whichever one you're looking for. Okay, so just as a reminder, we have Club Q, and actually these next couple of days, these are the last days that you'll be able to get this Club Q. So if you sign up this weekend, you will be getting the Christmas Club Q that kind of coordinates with your layouts that you're doing today. And then it changes over to January. So the way that Club Q works is if you want to opt out or skip, you do that by the 1st of the month. And then on the 12th, your card is charged. On the 15th, everything is shipped. And then we post the next kit for you to preview. And so you have a couple weeks to decide if it's something that you want or if you want to skip it. But these are the kits for this month. And then if you do sign up, you get a free set of summer kits in your shipment. If you have any questions about Club Q, just let me know. These are your free kits that you'll get, because I'm sure everybody has some leftover summer sunshine kits, or maybe you're doing a vacation, sunny vacation. And then you also get a coordinating paper pack that goes with this. It's $32 a month. You can skip months. I do a video for you every month so that you can go through it step by step, just like a class. You get extra paper packs. Always free shipping. You get an extra 10% discount. And you can only get these Christmas ones for the next couple days. So if you're interested, check it out online. And we are going to close, and I will be back. Let's see. I'll be back at 12 o'clock to do the Noel kit. So 12 o'clock Pacific time. And we'll be doing the Noel kit. And John is going to post the Club Q link.
I just did.
Oh, perfect. So if anybody has any questions, let us know. Otherwise, I'll give you time to finish up your page, and we'll be back here at noon.